Welcome back!
Welcome back, everyone!
Welcome back to Umineko!
What you just might have seen, depending on if you've been watching, which you should. Keep watching.
Keep watching, please.
Was us talking shit about Battler and whether or not he's actually the detective.
I'll say it in red. Battler may be the detective.
I don't think that's how the Red Truth works.
Isn't it?
Also, is that like the fan group's name for it, the Red Truth?
Yeah, that's the Red Truth.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna refer to it as that.
Yeah, the Red Truth, I don't want to gush too much about the Red Truth, but it's one of the best fucking things about this game.
So, when it first appeared,
yeah,
I was thinking like, oh, this has to be bullshit. I'm still not discounting the fact that it's bullshit.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to think that it's more like dodging the question is the art of the red text rather than just being outright lies.
That's a good assumption. Especially when she was all, the letter from this morning is the same one that Rosa had when she went to the mansion, or like, whatever. Like, that wasn't the question that Battler asked at all. He was like, what about the letter from yesterday? And even then, he was just confirming it so that he could make his theory.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely something to watch out for.
But we still haven't seen what the fuck Rosa's forgotten. Like, what is that?
We haven't seen that letter.
What is the context of that shit?
I don't know.
Ah, God damn it. Hit us off.
Anyway, Rosa and the rest returned from the chapel to the parlor in the mansion. So many things had happened since early in the morning. Of course, they were high-strung. Battler and George, who had cried, raged, and let their emotions explode after seeing their parents' tragic bodies, returned to the parlor and sat in the sofas, dazed as though everything up until then had been a lie. Only Maria was completely unchanged and looked just like normal. Creepy shit. When she wasn't playing pranks, she was basically a kid who played wordlessly by herself. So even if she was dazed, she probably would look just as she did. But as she turned on the TV and flipped through the channels, it looked as though nothing about her had changed from normal. Did Rosa think anything in particular about this attitude, which was clearly different from normal people?
I just wanted to point out just something that occurred to me.
Yeah.
All of the phone lines and wireless lines are down.
Yep.
But they still have TV.
This is true.
That's interesting to me.
I don't know. Maybe it's a different system. She stared at Maria's back as though looking at something that wasn't quite heartwarming.
I mean, it definitely is a different system, but that doesn't mean you can't use it to communicate.
I guess so? Wait, are you suggesting that they hotwire the TV to send out a message?
No, I'm not suggesting what they should do. I'm suggesting what they could do and what could have happened.
Okay. I guess so. I don't know.
If we're assuming that there are interactions going with people off the island, maybe that's the way that they happen. Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. What to find out. Eventually, Kumasawa, who doesn't know what the hell is going on because she hasn't been with us, came to say good morning. Her cheerful manner was clearly out of place, and she couldn't help but be bewildered by the strange atmosphere in the room. Then when she heard the details from Gohda, she reacted loudly with shock. Of course you've contacted the police, right? What should we do in a time like this? Oh dear, what should we do? Please calm down and listen. It seems the machine somewhere was somehow done in by lightning last night. Because of that, we haven't been able to use the phones. What? Then, until the typhoon passes, we can't even contact the police. Kumasawa's exaggerated surprise was a little comical. Even in this kind of situation, Rosa giggled. Because of that, the fog of confusion that had covered her head cleared up a little.
I've got to say strong. It's not just Maria. I'm acting as a parent for George-kun and Battler-kun too. So I have to say strong. Note, she does not mention Jessica.
She doesn't give a damn about Jessica, apparently. Rosa had been the youngest sibling, with a large difference in age between her and the others. So she had always been treated as a child.
And thus given the oldest sounding voice.
This is true. She has to be in her 60s by now. Every time she learned something new, it was something obvious to her siblings. And she had built up a complex, becoming convinced of her own incompetence. So she had developed a passive personality, asking her siblings for advice every time something happened. But she no longer had any brothers or sisters. Now Rosa was the only one of the 4 Ushumiya siblings left. Furthermore, if Kinzo continued to shut himself away even in this extraordinary situation, Rosa would have to surpass this crisis as the head's representative.
I'm not a child anymore, not a child.
Rosa slapped her knees lightly and stood up. She must not wait for orders now. She had to start moving herself. She picked up the receiver of the extension phone on the side table, and she immediately remembered that the phones were down. Genji and Shannon, whom she had sent to see Kinzo, hadn't returned yet. She had a good guess at what was going on. He was probably yelling something nonsensical again and becoming unmanageable. His precious chapel had been defiled with blood. That was easy to imagine. She had planned on using the extension phone to call the study, but unfortunately the phones were down. Rosa decided to go to the study directly with her own 2 feet. Her old self would have been too frightened to go see Kinzo, and in fact, if she did meet him, she would probably be blamed somehow and insulted. But this was no time to be frightened. As his true daughter, she had to make him aware of the current situation.
Kumasawa-san, I'm going to see father. Take special care of George-kun and Battler-kun. I'm sure they're on the edge right now.
Yes, yes, that may be true. It is truly pitiable. I shall make them something warm to drink.
Thank you.
Rosa went out into the hallway and headed towards Kinzo's study. The atmosphere in this mansion, which she'd spent her younger days in and should have been full of memories, seemed different, somehow. She began to climb the stairs in the entrance hall. Just then, in the faint darkness down the stairs, behind Rosa's back, something glowed. It was a single fluttering gold butterfly.
That's 3?
Yeah, there's a bit more than one. It fluttered around and sparkled. That butterfly danced about without a sound. It was only natural. No one could hear the sound of the butterfly's wings beating. And then it came to rest on Rosa's back as she slowly climbed the stairs. Rosa didn't notice it. If someone not in the know saw it, they'd probably assume it was just a single sheet of gold leaf in the shape of a butterfly that had been stuck there. Without noticing a thing, Rosa continued heading towards Kinzo's study. Beatrice, having too much of a good time.
She's back in this outfit now.
Yeah. So, how will you entertain me with this next one? There are still many, many pieces left.
Wait, is Beatrice about to use this butterfly to get past Kinzo's magic seal?
I can neither confirm nor deny this to be the case. Beatrice is a crafty motherfucker. In the parlor, which had fallen silent again, the only sound was that of the TV that Maria was watching alone. If there was anything audible besides that, it was the sound of the rain, which had continued on and on since the previous night. Every one of those who had witnessed that unearthly and horrible scene stayed silent, as though praying that the events of that morning had all been a dream. Because Kumasawa alone hadn't seen it, her reaction was slightly different. The silence itself seemed more unbearable to her, and she was anxious to encourage everyone somehow. However, she was aware that she must avoid saying anything careless, and she seemed to be pondering how she could be most helpful. Normally it would be time for breakfast. However, possibly because something so outrageous had happened, Gohda seemed to have forgotten to prepare a meal. Or maybe everyone was so beaten up that they'd forgotten their hunger. Kumasawa wanted to bring up the subject of what they should do for breakfast, but it didn't seem like the right atmosphere, so she really couldn't. But she really was hungry, so she casually made a proposal. It seems everyone is tired after all that has happened. In times like this, I think the best thing is to heat yourself with some warm black tea.
And ice cream?
And mackerel. Indeed, that is an excellent plan, I agree as well. Oh. How about some delicious black tea with biscuits and jam?
And mackerel?
And mackerel.
And ice cream.
Ah, yes. I hear Halloween will be here soon, and we have some delicious
Kumasawa!
pumpkin-shaped cookies on the shelf.
Ah!
Kumasawa-san, that's... Of course she had said the wrong thing. She had reminded Battler and the rest about that horrible and tragic Halloween party in the chapel. Nanja hurriedly whispered into Kumasawa's ear. Oh god. Battler-san, I am so sorry. I didn't mean to upset you. Truly, I didn't.
Oh, don't worry about it. I'll definitely turn this boiling air back on the culprit.
Beatrice, the witch. I wonder if that culprit is still on the island.
Probably. At least until the typhoon passes. No boat will come.
Not until the seagulls cry. Yes, that is true. After all, the boats stop coming even when it's just a little windy. They certainly wouldn't come during a typhoon, yes. It creeps me out.
You think so, Aniki? Me too. That's even putting aside whether the culprit's that mystery guest or not.
Indeed. Oh, no, this would be... Indeed. We've naturally suspected the mysterious guest who calls herself Beatrice, but we still cannot be certain that she is the culprit. There is still the possibility she's a victim whose corpse still hasn't been found. Which is what happened to Kinzo in the first game, right? When I think of it that way, there's something I just can't understand. What do you mean by that?
It's simple. It's just like Kumasawa Ba-chan said a short while ago. Right now, this island's right in the middle of a typhoon and escape is impossible. Same thing goes for the culprit. In that case, having the crime come to light should have been the thing the culprit wanted to avoid most.
I see. So there was no need to draw that creepy magical circle in the entrance to the chapel and show off the fact that the corpses were there.
Yeah, that's it. And if they're able to take that time and effort to do something so horrible to those 6 people, it should have been possible for them to hide the 6 corpses where they'd be impossible to find.
Let's throw them in the woods. I agree. That brutal Halloween party probably wasn't directed at those who died. It's directed at the people who would eventually discover it, us. It's probably safe to say that the magic circle was there to help us find it.
The culprit knows they won't be able to escape this island for a while, and yet they acted as though they wanted to make us find the corpses in the middle of this typhoon. What does it mean? If I were the culprit, I definitely wouldn't play around like that and make us find the bodies.
Beatrice-sama was not in her room.
Oh, I was hitting the wrong key. I was like, why is nothing happening?
It's okay. And the room did not seem particularly disturbed, and... Oh no, milady did disturb it quite a lot, though. Oh.
Come to think of it, what happened to Jessica? Here we go!
Oh, God. Canon-san is looking after her.
Look at that grin on his face.
That's the guise of a killer. They are probably in milady's room. That isn't good. The culprit is definitely still on the island. In this situation, I don't believe it's a very good idea to isolate ourselves in small numbers. Well, what do you mean by that? You don't mean to say the culprit plans to kill all of us? Oh. Let us remain calm. That is not yet certain.
Unfortunately, we can't deny the possibility exists. Also, we've forgotten the epitaph again.
Yeah.
This letter was in the chapel. According to this, the culprit is the witch. And if we don't solve the riddle of grandfather... Oh, there it is!
There it is.
A massacre of the whole family or something like that. Thank goodness Battler is aware of this third-person narration.
Yeah, it's good. Is that true? Would you allow me to read it as well? He hasn't read it? Eek, eek.
As they read the witch's letter, Gohda, Kumasawa, and Nanjo's faces grew even paler than they had been. Kumasawa could no longer hide her shaking. If you don't want to die, try finding grandfather's hidden gold, is that it? Screwing around with us? I'll bet she can't solve the riddle, so she's trying to make us solve it. However, I wonder what the truth is.
Oh, no. However, I wonder what the truth is. Madame always stated that the legend of the gold was nothing more than an illusion created by the master. Must be Gohda. It is doubtful whether it actually existed.
True. Supposedly they thought it would be nice if it did exist, but only half believe it. The relatives started believing in the legend of the gold only after Kinzo's health worsened and the inheritance problem came up. Probably not Battler.
It's fine.
Until then, hardly anyone believed it, I understand.
Oh, so maybe that is why. Do you remember? On the table in the chapel, there were 3 gold ingots. That alone would be worth quite a lot. Doesn't that prove that the legend of the gold was real? Excuse me,
Music stopped.
Please wait. Just now, did you say there were 3 gold bars?
Yeah, there were definitely 3 of them piled up. So what?
I happened to hear Kraus-sama say something once.
Once?
Yes, I just happened to hear to see.
Yep.
It's not like I was trying to listen in on secret discussions. No, indeed.
Don't worry about that now. So then what? Is there something wrong with there being 3 of those gold bars?
Yes. According to Kraus-sama, there was only 1 bar ever found to support the legend of the gold. That is correct. I believe Kinzo-san showed the president of Marusu a mountain of gold and let him take 1 bar back with him, or so the story goes. That 1 bar came to be in Kraus-sama's possession, and he said that no other gold supporting the master's legend of the gold existed.
You're talking about Uncle Kraus here. What does that mean? Oh, wait, 3? Wait, where did they come from? That's too many, right?
Perhaps there's another explanation. Maybe the other relatives also found 1 each, and they each brought 1 of them here. No, I cannot believe that. When all of the relatives came to the mansion, I was entrusted with their luggage. I did not feel a suspicious weight back then. I think those weigh about 10 kilograms. If that much weight was in their bags, even I would notice. But it didn't seem that way.
Yeah, even I would notice.
With these big guns!
Yeah, these massive guns! Look at me!
I'm so sexy. I'm dating a maid. What? George, shut up.
Same here. At the most, there were some changes of clothes, a first aid kit, Kairi-san's makeup, stuff like that, I think. I know his luggage also looked pretty light.
In that case, those 3 piled up gold bars were being shown to them, or maybe to us. The legend of the gold is definitely real. It isn't an illusion. They're telling us to try and find out the secret if we can. Though could they be scheming to have us solve the epitaph, which points to where the gold is hidden, and then try to snatch it away?
Yeah, that does make some sense. There are a couple parts that don't fit. To start, our parents, who should have been the most likely to solve the epitaph, were killed first. That seems to create a contradiction right off the bat to me. Something else makes even less sense. If the legend of the gold is actually true, then how are they able to pile up all that gold? It's almost like the culprit's already found the gold, and is telling us to try find it too.
Maybe the culprit found those 3 like Uncle Kraus did. Maybe that convinced them that the legend is true, and that they're trying to make us search for the rest. I think that way fits the best.
The pieces on the chessboard aren't lined up at all. We don't have a clue what the culprit is planning, what they want, or what they want to make us do. Is there any point? No matter what we think, is there anything we can figure out right now?
I don't know, is there? Hee. It was written down. What she wanted to make us do. Couldn't anyone read it? Hee.
Maria suddenly laughed in a creepy voice. I thought she'd been concentrating on the TV, and apparently she'd been listening in too. Without turning away from the TV, she simply told us what we were forgetting.
Beatrice hasn't said once that she wants the gold. All she's asking is whether you're all capable of solving the epitaph riddle or not. Though I'll bet she's pretty sure you could never do it.
So you're saying you can solve it, Maria?
I don't care. After all, she'll take me to the Golden Land, so I won't get in Beatrice's way. Ouch.
In any case, it looks like we'll have to ask Maria if we want to learn anything more. Maria, tell us. Who is this Beatrice? What is she planning?
You know, Beatrice is a witch. She can do anything with her strange powers. The power of magic can do anything. It can even create gold or bread, and of course it can create sweets too, right? You saw it, didn't you? At that time, everyone jumped at the sound of a door being slammed shut.
When we turned around, we saw that Rosa had suddenly returned, bringing Genji and Shannon. And she rapidly approached Maria, her heels squeaking, and hit her on the cheek. Stop talking about that. Battlecun and the rest will take it badly.
Ew.
Without waiting for a response, she hit Maria's cheek once more. Everyone could only stand there, stunned. I don't know what ooh means. What about yes?
Ew.
She mercilessly hit Maria's cheek again. Maybe Maria didn't feel like resisting after being hit twice. She weakly said yes.
Rosa-san, there's no reason to be so harsh.
This is my daughter's education. Do not interrupt. Damn.
Fuck. Alright. Oh, God. Yep. The atmosphere around Rosa, with Genji and Shannon standing at attention behind her, was somehow cold and yet dignified. Completely different from how she had seen before she left. She was holding something that looked like a gun. Battler couldn't imagine that she'd be holding a toy in this situation. She's got a gun. Rosa's got a gun.
Hey, it's not so big fucking...
Aunt Rosa, what is this? Yeah!
Yeah, look at that gun.
Rosa's got a gun.
Look at that thing.
Please don't copyright us, music people. Again.
Oh, man.
Yep. Everyone's got guns.
So, episode 1 is Natsui's big fucking gun.
Yeah, and now it's Rosa's big fucking gun. Yep.
This is Father's. Because of the current situation, I borrowed it specially. Everyone should understand. The culprit is still nearby. We don't know what might happen. Also, wait. We didn't actually see her go speak to Kinzo.
Did we? No, we didn't. That's right. She was like, I'm gonna go see Kinzo, and then we didn't, like, catch up with her.
Interesting.
So we don't actually know if she wants to see Kinzo or not. I agree. Rather than trying to figure out what the culprit is planning, it might be better to first think about our own safety.
I do like that Natsui was just pointing it, like, straight at the fucking screen, whereas hers is actually, like, holding it off to the side.
Yeah, she's not quite as gung-ho as Natsuhi is.
Father was fine, but he was considerably shaken by these sudden events. Fortunately, he said he won't leave his room, so he should be safe. He was shaken by these events? That sounds like a load of shit.
You think so? You don't think Kinzo could be shaken by murders?
We saw him be like, fuck him.
I'm gonna write my will. It's true, what she's saying doesn't entirely line up with what we saw of Kinzo a second ago.
Huh.
That is true. Kinzo is not shaken, or at least we can't tell if he's shaken.
On. All of the scenes with Battler in them haven't had any explicit magic.
Okay.
And this is a scene with Battler in.
Okay. I'm wondering where you're going with this. Where are you going? Is this crazy train, or is this like logical theory territory? I can't tell. That look on your face.
It's a bit of both. It's a bit of both.
Do you have a theory you want to throw at me right now?
So, we know that Battler is witnessing these scenes.
Sure.
And he's, like, still questioning magic in them, which means he's not seeing the other scenes where magic is just fucking happening.
Okay, sure.
He didn't witness the scene in which Kinzo was speaking.
Okay.
Which means we can't actually verify if any of the other scenes are happening.
Okay.
But I'm going to assume we can trust the scenes that Battler is in actually happen.
You think so?
I think so.
Okay. Okay, it's a good theory. I like it.
I still think this is the witch's retelling and it's all bullshit.
Yeah.
But
You think that the only scenes that we can like trust are the ones with Balor in them?
Yeah.
Is that the plan?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's a good theory. I like that strategy. Yeah, cool. All right, that's a good way of looking at things. We'll see if that's true or not, or if Beatrice has a counter to it. Of course.
For now, we should all try to stay together as much as possible. I agree. We don't even know where the culprit's hiding, and after all, there's no proof that there's only one of them. Even though I said it myself, I shivered. That's right. Could a single person kill 6 people and set up such a horrible scene all alone? Isn't it natural to assume that a crime was carried out by multiple culprits?
I agree with Rosa-san. It probably is good for us to stay together. Yes, I think it's good too. Yes, I don't want to die. Maybe it's about time we call for Milady and Caron-san.
Here we go!
That's right. Let's have them come down.
Oh my god, if they actually just walk out and...
Yeah, they're like not even dead.
Oh, that'd be so good.
Oh, I'd love that.
George and Iki tried to grab the extension phone, but Gohda-san shook his head. That's right, the phones are down right now, aren't they? I'll go with a couple people. If George and Iki and Gohda-san come too, that should be enough. No, let's all go together. It's a wolves and sheep puzzle. If we're in a balance while gathered together like this, then maintaining the situation will be safest. Wolves and sheep puzzle?
Ooh, I've got it. I'll show you.
Maria, turn off the television. Genji-san, please tell me where Jessica-chan's room is. Let's all go together.
Oh, we gotta learn about wolves and sheep. Yes, I will guide you.
Come on, everyone. We'll move together.
She's pointing that gun right at Genji.
Stay in front of this rifle. Follow my instructions.
Oh, God.
We stood up. Maria alone looked like she had some regrets about the TV, but she decided to go along with everyone for now and got up.
Shannon, thank goodness. I was a bit worried when you took so long to get back.
I'm sorry to have worried you. The master ordered me to transcribe something for him. Consistency!
Transcribe? Shannon.
I'm sorry, excuse me.
Yeah. So Genji clearly doesn't want George, like, reading the will for some reason. It's interesting.
We headed for Jessica's room, with the armed Aunt Rosa and Genji-san in the lead. Jessica and Kanon-kun were a boy and girl of about the same age. It'd sure be a shame if we barged in on them at a bad time, or at least that's what we'd be joking about normally.
Oh my God.
However, Aunt Rosa was on edge, constantly exuding a sense of tension. So it definitely wasn't the sort of atmosphere for careless remarks like that.
The music doesn't help.
What music?
They're like clock, like
Oh,
dong dong.
I couldn't hear that over the sound of me talking.
Oh, well.
Hey, don't fall behind. Everyone move together. We don't know when or where the culprit might leap out at us, right? Well, maybe Aunt Rosa's attitude was more appropriate. Since grandfather hadn't come down, Aunt Rosa was our leader. This wasn't a situation where she could smile like she always did. Always. Aunt Rosa was a mother, too. She probably also thought that if she didn't get a hold of herself, some harm might befall her beloved daughter. The culprit had killed 6 of our parents at once. The method they had used was unknown, but there was a good chance this opponent could take down a large number of people in a flash. Would that be with weapons or with numbers? Or with the magic of a witch? In any case, I couldn't think of a reason why it'd be okay to let our guards down. The rest of us had better take much, much greater care, just like Aunt Rosa. Everyone stop! Aunt Rosa spoke in a sharp voice. Wondering what this was all about, we peered forwards, and immediately realized the reason.
Hey, what up?
So all the magic circles seem to be in the same order so far.
Yes, so far. Eep.
Everyone get back! Gohda-san and Genji-san approached the door. Beyond this was probably Jessica's room.
This seems to be the same paint that was scribbled on the door to the chapel. It appears so. It seems not much time has passed since it was drawn.
What the heck? Is that another magic circle?
It's the first magic circle of the moon. It has the power to open unopening doors.
Drawn on the door to Jessica's room was the same kind of creepy scribble that had been drawn on the door to the chapel. That strange pattern must have had some occult meaning, but it didn't matter what that meaning was. We were worried about whether those two were okay.
That doesn't matter. Are Jessica-chan and Kanon-kun safe? This does not bode well. We should quickly bring those two downstairs and make sure they're not dead. Milady! Milady! Are you there? Please answer.
Gohda-san knocked violently and yelled, but there was no answer. He gripped the doorknob with a clatter, but the lock just resisted him.
Rosa-sama, it seems to be locked.
There's no helping it. Please open it up. Genji nodded and Gohda quickly unlocked the door with the master key. In the back of my mind, horrible images floated up and disappeared one after the other. A magic circle had been drawn on the door to the chapel. Behind that lay 6 corpses, so if there's a magic circle drawn on the door to Jessica's room, then beyond it must be...
Jessica-sama!
What happened? Is she there? Jessica, what happened? It was truly heartless. The expression on Gohda-san's face and his cry as he opened the door prepared us for the brutal fate Jessica had met even before we saw her. Everyone rushed into Jessica's room at once. That scene told everyone that their worst fears were spot on. Jessica! How horrible. Dr. Nandro.
Oh, tip.
Tip.
Jessica.
They haven't mentioned canon.
This is true. Well, we saw the witch, like, teleport his body away.
Oh, that's
or
right.
something. You, like, get sucked into space.
Shiromir Jessica found in her own room in the mansion with a weapon shaped like a stake rammed into her back. Finally, at the very end, she got to be with the person she loved. She must have been happy.
Yeah. How beautiful. God damn it.
Jessica lay crumpled on the ground. There was a large pool of blood on the floor, and there was a knife or something sticking deep into her back. Was it a knife? Was it a design on the handle that just had to symbolize something demonic? It had to be a weapon with some kind of occult meaning. What is the question mark
I
there?
don't know. They're wondering if it's a weapon or what is it.
Very... Okay.
It's weird. This is horrible. She has passed away. This probably reached her lungs. Not much time has passed since she died.
Jessica! Damn it! Battle-sama. I was naive. I knew it. Since the culprit couldn't escape the island, they were definitely close by, so why didn't I get cautious sooner? I was naive. Just assumed the culprit would commit the crime and then just sneak away and hide?
We were stunned then. We thought Jessica Chan giving into rage and running off was just something that couldn't be helped. We were naive. We should have stopped her.
Gohda-san, why did you leave these two alone? You only had been with them something like this?
No, that is, I said it was dangerous, so we should return. It's just that my lady said that she wanted to be alone. Canon-san told me to leave it to him, and... Speaking of which, where is Canon-san?
Oh, shit.
That's right. That's right. Where the fuck is he? On the left. On the bottom left. There he is. Servant Canon. The witch erased his corpse for fun. That alone caused an incredible uneasiness among the survivors. If that which exists resides in the human world, then that which does not exist is truly fantasy. Fantasy takes the form of what they fear. The fuck does that mean?
What the fuck does that mean?
Oh, that's fucking creepy as shit. Canon! Rip Canon. Sort of. His corpse has disappeared.
Very interesting.
He died. That's right. What in the world happened to Canon-kun?
Canon-kun, where?
Canon-san should have been with Milady. Where in the world did he go?
You don't think they got it? Quiet. Someone might be hiding in this room. Search under the bed and in the closet. Oh shit, they're actually doing this for once.
They're searching.
There's a chance Canon-kun's corpse had been pushed away somewhere. At Rosa-san's order, everyone searched throughout the room together. But there wasn't a single human hiding anywhere. Lots of furniture, though. He's nowhere. Could the culprit have taken him out of the room? We'll have to search for him quickly and save him. For slow, something awful might happen. And Rosa, let's search all over the mansion.
Let's split up.
I can't wait until they just, like, run around the mansion and find, like, a chair with a fucking stake in it.
A stake in it, like a little cap on its head on the top of it. Oh, that's pretty sad.
Let's search for the culprit. Let's save Canon-kun. Quiet.
Nice.
When Aunt Rosa yelled at us, we fell instantly silent. So did the music. She was probably contemplating something. However, what in the world could that be? Aunt Rosa walked around the room as though looking for something, or as though she was collecting her thoughts.
Rose's gonna make a big girl decision. Oh no.
Then she found something on the side table by the bed and picked it up. If anyone knows, tell me, which key is this? Aunt Rosa showed everyone a key with a cute mascot attached to it.
What?
Judging from its cute appearance, I didn't doubt that it was Jessica's key, but I had no way of knowing for sure.
It is probably the key to this room, to Milady's room.
After hearing that, Aunt Rosa made a point of going outside the door and checking. Without a doubt, it was the key to this room. I wonder why it was set in a place like this. Wouldn't you normally keep such an important key in your pocket? Milady wasn't in the habit of locking her room. It seemed she would only do it when she went to school, because she didn't want someone like Kraus-sama to look inside her room.
As you should.
I see. She wasn't at school, so it's natural that Jessica-chan would set the key down here. How many keys can open this door?
Just the one lady had.
Can't it be opened with your master keys?
Now this is when lottery mysteries get interesting. They can open it.
How many master keys are there? Are all of the servants holding them? Are there extras?
Yes, we all have one. As for extras, I wonder.
There used to be several, but Madame scolded us harshly, saying that that was careless, so they should have been dealt with.
That is correct. There is only one held by each servant. There are no more. You ready for this shit?
Wait a sec. I think we talked about extra master keys in the last game, right?
Indeed. Well, regarding that, I have noticed that having several master keys whose locations are known is quite disadvantageous for me.
That's probably right. Since you want to make me believe in magic using closed rooms, it'd really hurt you if there were more master keys than we thought. After all, every time a trick involving locks shows up, I plan to resist by arguing that the culprit had a master key that someone lost in the past or a duplicate.
Yes, that's correct. So, I've decided to make a move to defeat that. I'll update our setting. The only master keys are the ones held by the servants, one key each.
Messing with me? More importantly, what kind of move is this? What's Aunt Rosa talking about?
Who knows? You should try listening in.
Thank you. I have the situation sorted out. And I've been able to pinpoint the culprit who is so to Jessica-chan, or at least one of their accomplices. Wait, what did you say? Who is it?
Aunt Rosa, you don't mean Canon-kun, do you?
Huh? What? Why Canon-kun? This room was locked, and the only other keys that can unlock it are the master keys, held by each servant and the key Jessica had. But Jessica-chan's key was closed up in here, which means it's only possible that one of the master keys locked this room up. It's as you say. In that case, someone killed Jessica, then locked the door. The person had a master key, and there are only 5 people with master
There's
keys.
a fierce look. Oh my! It wasn't me, not me! No, I could never do such a thing.
Umineko-san got up late. After we returned from the chapel to the parlor, we did meet you there, but it's impossible to prove where you were and what you were doing until that time. You watched us from the shadows, chased after Jessica-chan and Canon-kun, when they were isolated and stealthily attacked them.
You say I visited Milady's room and did something so horrible? I did no such thing! Yes, no such thing.
What about you, Gohda-san? You said you left Jessica-chan and Canon-kun's care and returned. But I wonder if that's true. Maybe you actually killed the 2 of them, hid Canon-kun's corpse, and then came back with an innocent look on your face.
Nothing of the sort happened. I go to swear that I did not do anything like that.
It wasn't us. We were following the master's orders and... Yes, you and Genji-san alone are clean. That's backed up by what I heard from Father. The 2 of you were in Father's room the whole time, transcribing and witnessing for him. Father and I can guarantee that.
Thank you very much.
In that case, the argument becomes who is more suspicious? Gohda-san or Kumasawa-san? Or the fact that Canon-kun is fucking missing? I thought that myself right after entering this room, but still I found it strange. Look at the state of Jessica-chan's body. Doesn't everyone think it's strange?
Strange, you say?
Jessica-chan was struck in the back. Come on. They say it all the time, right? Crimes when the victim is struck in the back. There's a high likelihood that the culprit was someone whose face was known to the victim. She definitely wouldn't invite a person she didn't trust into her room and defenselessly expose her back.
Is that true, is it? Alright.
Rosa-sama, you don't mean to say that it was Canon-kun, do you? I do. We're all fully aware of the state Jessica-chan was in right before she was killed. After seeing her parents' tragic bodies, Jessica-chan was very panicked. It's easy to imagine that after she regained her composure, she'd be in a horrible slump. Very understandable if Jessica's frame of mind led her to shut herself up alone in her room, and those particulars match with Gohda-san's story. Jessica-chan said to leave her alone, then Canon-kun, who is of similar age and who may have some adolescent relationship with her, said to leave this matter in his hands. The feeling is also very understandable. So for that reason, I think Jessica-chan welcomed Canon-kun into her room, What if it had been Gohda-san or Kumasawa-san? Would she have let them into her room?
I believe that I may have gained Milady's trust, but even so,
Oh, then I guess you're still a suspect after all, Gohda-san. What a fucking... You dumb shit!
Gohda!
Why? What is... This motherfucker...
I love you, Gohda.
I want to see this face. I want to see this face.
Rosa looking fierce.
Oh, boy. You can see the regret in his eyes.
He's like, I might have said something wrong. Oh, well.
I assume Jessica-chan probably didn't like you very much, so I didn't think she would have let you into her room.
Oh, no.
I was convinced you wouldn't possibly be the culprit, but maybe I was mistaken.
No, I am sad to say that I may not have been accepted by Milady. Whoa, what about you, Kumasawa-san? We are far too separated by age to understand the feelings of a young person like Milady very well. And for the same reason, perhaps, Milady never opened up her heart to us. Right, Gohda-san? Yes, that's right. It would have been quite difficult for her to open her heart to the likes of us, and it would be inconceivable for Milady to let us into her room when she was grieving.
Gohda-san and Kumasawa-chan each rubbed their hands together, affirming each other with forced smiles on their faces.
Oh, God.
It was a truly unpleasant rodeo. So it was a person who might be allowed to enter Jessica-chan's room while she was grieving. A person who might have been given access to her defenseless back and who had a master key that only points to one suspect. It was impossible for anyone except Kanon-kun. Please wait. Kanon-kun definitely wouldn't do something like... Oh, then is there someone else? Is Gohda-san or Kumasawa-san suspicious after all? Who do you think is more suspicious, Shannon-chan? Come on. I could never...
It wasn't me, Shannon-san. Yes, it was not me. Oh, of course it wasn't me either. The ones who had close relations with Milady were Kanon-san and after him, you, right?
Yes, isn't that right? Jessica-chan might also let Shannon-chan into her room. Well, supposedly with father, but in reality, could you be the culprit?
Shannon couldn't be the culprit. You just say she was doing some important work with grandfather?
Yes, I know. Neither Shannon-chan nor Genji-san is the culprit. Father confirmed that they were together the whole time. Well then, what do you think, everyone? After being told that, no one could respond. Even if someone did manage to argue back, they'd have to offer the name of a different suspect. And no matter who that suspect was, it would have to be someone right here. No one could do something like that. And Rosa glanced at everyone in turn, fingering the gun like it was a toy. She seemed so different from the kind Aunt Rosa I knew. Now, it's probably because I'm not fully aware of the danger we're in. Maybe Aunt Rosa's attitude would seem natural if I could truly sense the peril surrounding us. Looks like no one has an opinion, and I'll give you mine. Of course, I can't deny the possibility that Kanon-kun's a victim without a corpse, but until we find that corpse, I certainly can't rule Kanon-kun out as a suspect. There's a chance he'll suddenly appear again claiming to have been attacked by the culprit and confined somewhere. But take care, most likely, no, there's no doubt about it. Kanon-kun killed Jessica-chan. No way. I can't believe it. Kanon did that to Milady? That's too much.
I feel the same as Shannon. I'm opposed to labeling Kanon-kun as the culprit.
Then is the culprit Gohda-san or Kumasawa-san? Tell me who's more suspicious.
It wasn't us! Oh.
If it wasn't Kanon-kun, then who could have locked this door? How about it, Shannon-chan? George-kun? Huh? And Rosa closed in on Shannon-chan and Georgie, laughing unpleasant.
That was a laugh? Oh, God.
Of course, they couldn't say anything back. They wanted to believe in Kanon-kun. But if they did, they'd have to suspect the other servants. The simplest culprit was the mystery guest, Beatrice. She was nothing more than a guest and didn't have a master key. So if Beatrice was the culprit, despite lacking a master key, then do we have to accept the argument that she really is a witch who locked the door with the power of magic? Right,
go.
Hold on.
What do you want to say?
Before Battler throws this down, here's how it goes.
Sure, tell me exactly what you think happened.
Kanon opened the door.
Okay.
Culprit came in.
Okay.
Murdered them both.
Okay.
Took the key out of Kanon's pocket.
Sure.
Skedaddled on out of there with the corpse.
That's a good theory. I like it. Let's see how Beatrice totally thrashes everything that you can throw at her. Let's go.
That's a dirty argument. Dirty, so dirty.
What are you worried about? Make it my fault. You can just make it the fault of the 19th person, the mystery guest, right? If you do, you won't have to watch this ugly battle of humans blaming each other, right?
So then what? The culprit is the 19th person, the guest Beatrice. She's a witch, so she could lock the door without a key using magic. You telling me to accept that?
Yes.
Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it.
In the last game, I learned all of your weak points. So what will you do? What will you do? You said you definitely wouldn't accept me, right? Then you can use Cannon as the perfect sacrifice he is. The mere furniture. Cannon killed Jessica. If you support Rose's theory, everything is settled here, right? Cannon is already dead. There should be no need to show concern for the dead, and you won't have to suspect anyone in this room.
Damn it. I won't accept you. But Cannon-kun being the culprit is impossible.
How so?
I believe the word you're looking for is improbable.
Damn. I don't want to suspect anyone. However, at times, there's no smoke without a fire turns out to be true. Anyway, you can never be too cautious.
Dr. Nansha, what do you mean by that?
Please do not misunderstand. I do not wish to label Cannon-san as the culprit. However, until we understand the situation, there's a possibility that he is the culprit. And I believe thinking that way is safer. Oh, yes, that's right. You cannot be too cautious.
The general consensus certainly didn't seem to find fault with Nanjo for what he said. True, no one actually thought Cannon was the culprit, but unless they suspected him, they'd have to suspect one of the servants here. We didn't want to do that. We didn't want to suspect. We didn't want to be suspected. That's correct. We cannot be too vigilant. I take it no one objects to that, right? Understand? There's a very high likelihood that these murders are connected to Father's legend of the gold. That means the crime must have been plotted by someone who wants to keep a vast amount of gold, worth several 10 billion yen, all for themselves. That kind of money you could play around for the rest of your life in any country. And with a motivation like that, they might even intend to kill all of us.
Yeah.
Because she didn't have a master key, the 19th person, the guest Beatrice, is removed from suspicion for the murder of Jessica Chan alone. We cannot conclude that she's unrelated to the crime. After all, it's a vast amount of gold we're talking about. We can't deny the possibility there are multiple culprits. Right now, one of the people here among us might have been brought by the culprit.
And I have this big fuck off guns. You better listen to me.
As Aunt Rosie yelled, she looked around, her gun still raised. Don't believe anyone. Suspect the person next to you. That's what she was saying. But no one wanted to suspect. They didn't want to suspect anyone here. That weakness in their hearts demanded an answer from those not present. There are only two ways you can be sure someone isn't a suspect. If it's yourself, or if they're already no more than a corpse. The same goes for Cannon-kun. Until we catch sight of his corpse, he is the most likely suspect in Jessica Chan's murder. So take care. Even if he's still alive, even if you smooth things over with some explanation, you definitely mustn't trust him. Got it? No one gave an answer of their own initiative. However, those who met Aunt Rose's eyes had to nod their heads. Humans are beings who live by molding themselves to fit society. In other words, from time to time, they're born trusting each other is genetically imprinted on them. It's unpleasant to go against that. They never want to suspect someone. But if they're forced to suspect someone, they find it safest to choose someone who isn't present at that moment. For the purpose of safety and nothing more, they half-heartedly chose Cannon to be the sacrifice. I don't think that was Battler.
It's fine.
That's ridiculous. I definitely don't want to believe Cannon's the culprit. I'd heard it from George and Iki just now, but not only were those two close in age, they also had that kind of adolescent relationship Aunt Rosa had mentioned. Maybe a little late now, but yeah, they really did have that kind of air about them. After seeing her parents' tragic corpse, Jessica bearing wounds deep in her heart, would only have trusted Cannon-kun. It was very easy to imagine. That's why I don't like it. Cannon-kun was the only one she trusted, so she wouldn't have let anyone but Cannon-kun in. So Cannon-kun was the only one who could have killed Jessica? I just can't accept that kind of argument.
You say it in red?
That's an interesting question. Can you in fact say this in red?
Can you say it in red?
Understand? Even if Cannon-kun appears, don't let your guards down. As long as we cannot prove Cannon-kun's innocence, we will assume Cannon-kun is the culprit who killed Jessica-chan. That was Aunt Rose's claim. By using the vague word assume, she managed to convince everyone in the end. Everyone nodded weakly, and with the excuse that they were just assuming for the time being, they concluded that Cannon was the culprit who had killed Jessica. I wonder what the dead Jessica and Cannon would think if they could hear this exchange. I think this might be Beatrice.
No. Here they are. Jessica was crying. She was crying to the chest of the person who had put his life on the line to fight for her, Cannon. It was frustrating. So frustrating that it felt like her chest would explode. She grieved and resented how far the dignity of the dead had been trampled. Yeah, you're a dead person now.
There are fucking ghosts?
They're a ghost now. And
What?
You're playing one of these ghosts.
Ah!
Magic doesn't exist, right?
Oh my god.
I love this.
How can those guys treat Cannon-kun like the culprit?
Because there's no corpse.
How can they treat you like the culprit just because there's no corpse? You risked your life to fight for me, right? And that witch raised the corpse for fun. For them to call you the culprit after that, it's horrible. Too horrible.
It's okay. I wasn't able to protect you in the end, but I was able to be of use to you in your final minutes.
Why doesn't everyone understand that? Stop it, Aunt Rosa. Don't call Cannon-kun the culprit with that messed up logic.
She isn't saying I'm the culprit. She's just saying I'm suspicious. No, she's saying to be careful.
She is saying it. These people are saying you're the culprit so they can stop thinking. They aren't thinking about who the culprit killed me is anymore. They aren't thinking of the possibility that you aren't the culprit. And after this, every time something happens, they'll use the excuse that Cannon-kun did it, since we don't know where he is. I can't stand it.
It's okay. At least you know the truth.
If only I know the truth, that's pointless. I know it after dying. Truth belongs to living humans. If the truth doesn't remain, the dead won't be rewarded. They won't know what Cannon-kun risked his life for.
Truly a splendid sight. You hardly ever find a sweeter honey than the lament of the dead. Lament, lament. No matter how much you lament, the voices of the dead never reach the living.
Damn it, damn it! It doesn't matter who. Hear my voice. Cannon-kun isn't the culprit. Cannon-kun's corpse was just erased. Why don't you understand it?
Milady.
I can't stand this. It's too sad. I hate it. This way it's like Cannon-kun died for nothing, right? The honor of the dead means nothing unless it's acknowledged by the living. Doesn't matter who. Notice it. Notice it, please. Cannon-kun isn't the culprit. Don't go, everyone. Please don't let it end like this. Don't go.
Rosa announced that this room would be sealed until the police came. They gave it a good look over. It's leaving now. The rest didn't want to suspect each other, so they happily accepted that. For now, they accepted that Cannon was the culprit. Without even imagining how much disgrace that gave to the dead, they accepted it. Milady, you've done enough. Thank you. You're all leaving.
Don't go. I want to see this in the new images.
Oh, the ghostly images?
Yes.
There you go.
Okay, so it's just
Yeah, just the same.
it's the same.
No issue effects or anything.
There wasn't any glass.
Oh yeah, there wasn't any glass when you did that. That was weird. Sure, it's fine.
Don't go. Don't they go, everyone. I'm begging you, come back. Don't leave us behind like this.
They're leaving you.
Don't keep treating Cannon-kun as the culprit. Ah.
It won't reach. The laments of the dead never reach. You make me laugh. Yes, that face of yours makes me laugh. Did you think your voice would reach them? It won't reach, will it, Jessica?
It's all useless. Oh, Bad Luck-kun, did you say something? Yeah, it's all useless. It's all useless.
Just as everyone was about to leave the room, Battler stood alone with his back to them, still looking down on Jessica's corpse.
What do you mean it's all useless? Do you have some objection? I agree we gotta stay on our guards, but sorry, I'm not buying that about Cannon-kun being the culprit.
Oh shit. Oh, so you're speaking up at a time like this? If Cannon wasn't the culprit and it wasn't my doing, how do you explain this closed room that Jessica's room has become?
To be honest, I don't even have a clue on that. Seriously, why do I have to go and say it's all useless? Guess I better take responsibility for my own words. I'm empty-handed with zero weapons to argue with. But I'm not gonna sit around on the sidelines anymore, Beatrice.
Oh!
Badla-sama,
Is there some proof that Canon-kun isn't the culprit? The expression that rose to those two faces was definitely one of anticipation. They didn't want to believe that Canon was the culprit. They really believed in Canon, so they were expectant because they wanted Battler to strengthen their belief in him even more.
Then Battler-kun, which of the other servants do you suspect? Gohda-san? Or is it Kumasawa-san? Put it on, Rosa. I know the person called Kumasawa-chan well. She's sometimes slack off on the job, but she's always making things fun for people. Even if her eyes were dazzled by money, she isn't the kind of person who'd kill for it.
Oh, Battler-sama!
And I just met Gohda-san yesterday. Honestly, I still don't really understand him. Seems like a bit of an asshole. But there is something I do understand.
Cooking? Aye.
I never see anyone who cooks as happily as he does. He's the same. The same as Kumasawa-chan. Gohda-san likes to make people happy.
This is some Keiichi level horseshit, and I love it. Oh.
As if a person like that could kill those who praised his food as delicious, even if money was piled up in front of him. Then who do you think killed Jessica-chan, Battler-kun? Who do you think shut Jessica up in a room that could only be locked by a master key? Wait, before I argue about that, there's something I want to make clear. I don't want to talk about if so-and-so is not the culprit and so-and-so must be the culprit. I just want to talk about how it's completely impossible for Canon-kun to be guilty.
Oh, damn. You say you can prove that Canon isn't the culprit. How?
It's actually simple, and it's something I almost overlooked. Beto, repeat it. If you can say it, try saying it. Canon-kun had a master key on him. Oh, fuck off.
Oh.
Canon-kun doesn't have a master key on him? How could you possibly know that? Sure, a while ago I heard from Gohda-san about what happened. About how Jessica went to raid the VIP room, right before she and Canon-kun went off on their own. Gohda-san, you did a good job remembering it. You protected Canon's honor.
I did? I heard him say the same thing. But I don't really understand. Could you explain it, Battler-kun?
That's right. When Jessica unlocked the VIP room, she borrowed the key from Canon-kun, but didn't give it back. So Canon-kun doesn't have a master key on him.
Damn. Well, that shit.
Boom!
Yeah. Fucking nailed it. Maybe. Is that really so? True, Gohda has no recollection of the master key being returned to Canon. However, she might have returned it when Gohda wasn't looking. How does that prove that it definitely didn't happen? If you could just search the pocket of Canon's corpse, you'd be able to say for sure, but you can't. It's impossible to prove.
It's all useless. It's actually pretty simple, isn't it?
Feels a bit stressed.
No way. So you're saying that's why Canon-kun didn't have a key on him? Yeah. And to prove it, all you have to do is search Jessica. Canon-kun's master key should be in Jessica's pocket. Dr. Nanjo, would you check for us?
Indeed.
Nanjo dashed up to Jessica and searched in her jacket pocket. Everyone was expectant. No key.
Move.
Please be there.
Here it is!
Oh!
Is this it? Yes, that is a master key without a doubt. Damn.
That throws my theory out the window.
There you go.
At Genji's statement, there was a small of joyful voices. That's Canon-kun's master key. I'll say it again. Canon-kun doesn't have a master key on him, so there's no way he could have locked the door. Certainly does appear that way. But Canon-kun was the last person to be Jessica-chan. In fact, he's suspicious hasn't changed. Let's give that stuff a rest. Huh? Fundamentally, humans are supposed to be creatures that trust each other. But because we live in a tough world, we learn how to be deeply suspicious. So we suspect everything. We're sad creatures. I won't deny that's our nature. But the other one thing I won't let you do is reach conclusions without proof. If someone looks suspicious, that doesn't make them guilty, it makes them innocent. Of course, the world is filled with wolves. I'm not saying you should carelessly believe everyone. And if you're gonna conclude that someone's guilty, you'd better have some perfect evidence. Unless you do, don't go around accusing them based on speculation. That's...
I was the one who brought up there's no smoke without fire, and was careless of me. I apologize.
Battler-sama.
Wonderful reasoning, Battler-kun. Thank you too, Gohda-san. Because of what you remembered, Canon-kun's been cleared for suspicion. Smug AF. Clap, clap, clap. It was the crisp sound of the witch applauding. Well done, well done. Not a bad job.
Crap. Did I fall for that bait piece just like you wanted?
You've magnificently proved that Cannon at least couldn't lock the door to this room. The servants should all have had master keys. With that as proof, Cannon was treated as a culprit, but you've at least managed to clear that away from suspicion.
In that case, how did the culprit who killed Jessica lock the door? That's the problem we have now. I got drawn into exactly the flow you wanted.
I got you, didn't I? Furthermore, you said something outrageous about not doubting any of the other servants. Well then, I can't wait to see how you try to smooth that one over.
Shut up. Let's start right away. You probably just deny it anyway, but first let's check the definition of this room as a closed room.
Yes. Very well. First, there are absolutely no types of hidden doors. This door is the only way in and out. The only way to lock this door is with Jessica's single key or the master keys, only one of which is held by each servant. It is on the second floor, but it is probably possible to enter or leave through the window. However, the window is locked from the inside.
I can spin the chessboard around already. If I start by arguing about the door and the lock, I'll probably be stuck dancing on the palm of your hand.
Yeah. Do as you like. Well then, what should I repeat?
Repeat it. Cannon-kun was killed in this room.
Very well. Cannon was killed in this room. He is dead. He has been killed in this room. It has been confirmed in red. Servant Cannon. There's no corpse, and yet he's dead. The witch said so in red, so he definitely is dead, even though there's no corpse.
This is the first time we've had a straight up...
That is a bit weird, isn't it? Sure, it's fine. Cannon was killed in this room. But I erased his corpse with magic, right?
Again, repeat it. Cannon-kun's corpse is in this room.
Oh, I refuse. I can't repeat that because I erased the corpse with magic.
Yeah, figures you wouldn't say that. There's got to be a secret hidden in there somewhere. Can we just ask Cannon-kun is on the island and she has to repeat that in red, maybe?
Oh, like if his corpse is on the island?
Yeah.
That's a great question.
Did they lock it without the master key, or did they somehow kill those two while they were inside the room and it was locked? Or did they just kill those two and then somehow escape? I hate to say it, but I'll have to cover up the moat first. Repeat it. The last time it was locked was due to the master key.
I also refuse that.
This refusing thing is really vague. I don't know if you refuse because it's impossible to repeat, or whether you can repeat it and you're refusing on purpose.
Back when discussing the lock to the chapel, you completely turned the tables on me. When I have an advantage, there's no need to go out of my way to use red when it might be risky. That's all it is.
I guess that makes sense. Originally, the point of the red was to counter my strange theories.
Naturally. I'll use it in a way that works to my advantage. Now that I know I've got to worry about your twisting it around, I won't use it pointlessly. Well then. What move will you use next? I imagine a move placing suspicion on Gohda or Kumasa will be easiest, yes?
We still haven't actually seen if any of the other servants have their master key on them other than Gohda.
This is true.
Damn, it feels like you're leading me by the nose and it pisses me off. Stay quiet a bit, I'm thinking.
Shut up, witch. Of course, this door is the same as the chapel. When locked, it does not permit any form of entry. I'll say more. No trick could have the effect of locking the door from the outside without using a key.
Damn you for always using red when I don't ask for it. Time to step back to square one. For now, I've just got to think. Lay out everything I know. First, there are two victims. Jessica and Cannon. Cannon-kun's corpse isn't here, but Beatrice has admitted in red that Cannon was killed. So even without a corpse, he's included as a victim. There are a few questionable points. Depending on which I focus on, my line of thought changes a lot. First, after the culprit committed the murder in this room, how did they lock it? If we assume the culprit was someone with a master key, it's extremely simple. But I'd like to avoid that if I can, because I'd have to suspect Gohda-san or Kumasawa-san, or maybe even Shannon-chan and Genji-san. Here I noticed something. I was contradicting myself. I was strangling my own neck. I wanted to deny Beatrice no matter what. I want to erase the existence of that brutal, fickle, ridiculous witch. So I have to explain everything with humans, not with magic. That also means suspecting someone human. I don't want to suspect anyone. Of course, if there's some clear proof, I'll have to believe in the person in question, and the person in question is the culprit. Until that happens, I don't want to suspect people. Am I just naive? Am I just the kid who doesn't want to have my feelings betrayed when those feelings tell me that this person at least could never commit murder? I want to deny that a witch did it, and I also want to deny that a human did it. I don't even know what I'm doing right now.
In the first place, the only victory condition in our game was whether or not you could deny my existence. Even though that alone put you at a disadvantage, you've increased the number of victory conditions all by yourself, making your own victory harder.
It's just that she says. If I just argue that someone with a master key did it, the closed room can be broken easily. However, the number of keys that can open this door is limited, and since it's clearly known who has them, using that argument means I'd be suspecting someone I know well. They also haven't actually tried Jessica's key on the door.
They haven't. Think it could be a fake, maybe?
Yeah, because all that they mention is that the keychain is definitely hers.
I don't know. Might be worth looking into.
In fact, have I just been averting my eyes from the truth? Even while attacking that closed room trick in the chapel, which was exhilarating to destroy, I proposed that someone stole the key from Maria's handbag and returned it. If that theory's right, then the question becomes who could have stolen the key from her handbag?
Da-da-da.
Maria's handbag was probably most unguarded while she slept. In that case, in addition to me, Georgianiki and Jessica are also suspects. So Georgianiki or Jessica is the culprit? Or maybe an accomplice? All of our parents have been killed, right? And yet, one of us consented to that and assisted with the crime? We all lamented, mourned, shed tears together in the chapel, and yet one among us was lying?
That theory of yours about taking the key out of the handbag and putting it back casts a pronounced suspicion on the cousins, did it not? And despite that, you acted like you didn't even notice, announcing a theory like that so happily.
Damn it. That doesn't guarantee that one of the family or the servants is the culprit. If you snuck up on us while hiding in a cardboard box, for example...
That Metal Gear reference.
Yeah. Snuck in our room when we were fast asleep and stole the key, right?
Perhaps that will do for this situation. By suspecting the guests, the 19th person, you won't have to suspect the others. In that case, how is Jessica's room locked? It's no trouble at all for me to open the lock with magic, but of course I don't have a master key. If you deny my magic, you also have to deny that I'm a suspect, correct? So in other words, that means suspecting one of the 18.
Oh yeah, thanks for the help. I've managed to sort things out a bit. My goal is to figure out how the 19th person, the human guest Beatrice, committed the crimes. If I do that, I won't have to suspect anyone.
If you can do that, foolish man, this wasn't a closed room from the beginning. After all, there are a total of 6 keys that can open it, and several people possess such keys. You can suspect any of them. Suspect as much as you like. But if you went to all the trouble of denying all of them, making it a closed room yourself, understand, this is a closed room born from your mental contradiction. My goodness. Ha! You and no one else sealed that door.
So you're trying to say that I've got 2 options. Accept that a witch opened it with magic, or accept that someone I know is the culprit. Are you trying to fork the rook?
I just wanted to show you that moves such as this can exist as well. Oh, so what will you do? Assure me a butler? Isn't it actually simple? Don't you just have to make sacrifices to that overly self-confident cook and that hag who wouldn't be a loss if she died?
Damn it. If I suspect Gohda-san and Kumasawa-san, everything will be fine. That's useless. I can't think of Gohda-san as the culprit. I can't think of Kumasawa-san as the culprit, but I won't accept you, no matter what.
In that case, they'd have to enter the room without using magic or a master key, kill Jessica and Cannon, and even erase Cannon's corpse without using magic. How could it be done? How could it be done so that you can deny me while still not suspecting anyone else?
Long stare.
Oh shit. Damn, Battler's given up. Battler's like, I can't do this. I resign. This is bad.
I think he's a dummy.
You think so? I don't know. Let's see what happens. Huh? Pelican, what did you say?
I give up. I was able to prove that Cannon-kun couldn't have locked this door. That doesn't mean I've managed to figure out who killed Jessica. No, that's more than enough. For Cannon's sake, thank you very much. No indeed to thank me. After all, this means you're under suspicion too, Shannon-chan. Sorry, Aunt Rosa. It's not like I wanted to resist you. I don't want to die, and I want to find Dad and the rest true enemy. Sorry for saying something that wasn't cooperative. No, it's okay. I was also a little rash. Let's make up. As an aunt and a nephew, we have to stay on good terms. Right?
Oh my god.
And Rosa shifted the gun to one hand and held out to her other.
That fucking line.
I reached out, and for the time being, we shook hands. Aunt Rosa's gaze was sharp. In order to deny the witch, she would sacrifice anyone. That's what her eyes told me. Me? I denied the witch, but I wasn't prepared to lose anything. I was probably the one who seemed to be fighting the most, and yet one who was most separated from reality.
There it is. That's a big clock. It's a little ominous.
Don't worry, we've seen the
Oh
big
my
clock.
God.
Oh, what?
Holy shit, that's
Whoa.
a lot of time. That's 1 p.m., right? Not...
Yeah, no, that's the afternoon.
Shit, that's a very large jump in time there. I'm a little concerned.
Oh, God.
Uh,
Oh, my goodness.
see you guys next time.
He resigned?
Yeah?
But he didn't resign to Beatrice.
He gave up on that particular puzzle, certainly.
I don't think that puzzle was, like... So
Yeah,
my
but-
original theory was thrown out the window to
Yeah.
an extent.
What's your theory?
But the fact is that they didn't check to see if either of the keys actually worked.
This is true.
They checked the master key, and I assume the servants would have actually recognized that one.
Sure.
But none of the servants necessarily would have recognized Jessica's key by anything other than the keychain.
Sure. You think that they switched the keychain and that it's not the real
Okay.
key? Okay.
And the other thing is that taking Cannon's corpse out of the room immediately raises suspicion there,
Yeah.
which seems like an intentional move.
This is true. Cannon is certainly the most suspicious person based on the fact that he was the last person seen with Jessica
Yeah.
and the servant keys and all that stuff. Yeah, it's definitely true. But yeah. But Beatrice said, he's dead. So it's an interesting kind of interaction between the supernatural part of the game and the human part of the game.
Yeah.
Where, like, they don't know that Cannon's dead. They don't know that because they can't see his corpse. But Battler knows and we know because of the red text. Yeah, super fun. I don't know if you have any more theories you want to throw out about that. I don't know, do you suspect anyone in particular? Do you think it's the 19th person? Do you think it's one of the 18? Anything like that?
I'm becoming a bit lost as to what's actually going on here, because originally I thought it was just like, right, this is just Beatrice telling how shit went down. But now it seems like it's Beatrice telling how shit went down, accompanied by another version of actual reality.
Yeah, sure. It sounds fair, I think. I
So
don't know.
in Beatrice's retelling, Beatrice is the culprit, but in the second actual reality,
Sure. Yeah. Like when Battler moves to the crime scene, there's
Yeah.
kind of a separate look at it.
yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. If you have any theories,
I still
would
think Rosa makes the most sense as a culprit.
You think so? What are you basing that off of? Do you have is this a culprit theory time? You want to try and figure it out?
Not really. It's just that I feel like the fact that they're throwing the servants in so aggressively is meant to be misdirection, both
Okay.
from the author and from the culprit.
You think so?
I also think the fact that Rosa came up with the theory so suddenly and strongly makes it seem like if she actually did it, it's like, well,
She's trying to cover
look at
it up.
this, there you go, see,
She's
copy
like,
me, copy
look,
me!
I looked through the room and look at all these clues I found that I didn't know about earlier.
Yeah, also the fact that Rosa was in the chapel and then quote-unquote forgot about it,
Yeah.
immediately suspicious.
You think so?
We can't assume that the chapel where she was talking to Beatrice and the chapel where the cousins were murdered, so the parents were murdered, is like the same reality.
Sure.
But the fact that she didn't mention that at all immediately seems suspicious to me.
Well, I mean, if we're going by the theory that this is like Beatrice retelling,
Yeah.
can we trust that scene? Was Rosa even there?
I'm not gonna say yes, but I feel like the inclusion has to be very intentional for a reason, and we haven't found the reason, and that's my best guess so far.
Sure. Sounds good. That sounds like a good culprit theory. We'll see how we can smash it later.
Was it Rosa who I suspected most at the end of the first episode? I think it was.
I think it was, yes. So it seems to be lining up with your previous theory, which is interesting. But we'll see if Beatrice can't smash it to pieces by the end of this chapter. Because that's the thing she likes to do.
The other thing,
Yeah.
which is, this is a bit of a stretch,
Yeah.
but all of the Halloween candy,
Uh-huh.
we did explicitly have a scene where Rosa stopped to get Halloween candy.
You think she just bought
I
like
don't, like-
pumpkins and so when she showed up at the island, you're like, hey guys, I've got all this like Halloween decorations. Where do I put them?
Yeah, like, it just, That's just odd.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a bit of a stretch.
They need to be like carried by a separate boat to the island. Like if we are taking that theory seriously, they need to be like an accomplice to like get the stuff to the island so that Rosa isn't seen with all these Halloween decorations, right?
We didn't see them get off the boat in this reality.
This is true. Maybe she did get off with just Halloween decorations, like wearing like a jack-o'-lantern over her head, and we just didn't see it. Maybe that happened. We don't know.
I guess we'll just have to find out.
Yeah.